Hey you guys, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating your personal brand kit on Adobe Express and also build your color schemes. So if you're at this point, you should already have your logo created and you should kind of have a general idea of what you want your brand to look like and what you want your color scheme to be. So to start off, we're going to go to Adobe Express and we're going to create a space in Adobe Express to build this brand. So over on the left-hand side, you're going to click Brands. It will bring you to this window. If you already have some in here, that's totally fine. Look for the button that says Create New Brand. And we're going to name this Personal Brand Kit and click Create. So when you click create, it's going to give you a lot of prompts to build your brand kit, but we're just going to pause right here because we've got this space created. And then we're going to jump over to color.adobe.com and we're going to build our color scheme. When you build your color scheme, tap into what you know about color theory. What does each color mean? What does red mean? Do you want that to represent your brand? What does green mean? Do you want that representing your brand? Or is that a good representation of your brand? Make sure you're choosing your colors intentionally to match what you want your personal brand kit to say about you. When you click color harmonies, you're going to see some familiar terms and some unfamiliar terms. So do a little bit of exploration to learn about how those colors go together. Once you get in here, I'm going to click refresh because I already had this tab open. But as you build your color scheme, you'll notice over here, when you click save, it will save it. I'm just going to kind of pick one real quick here. When you can name it. So I could name this personal brand colors. You can enter tags. So I could even put in here like what each of these colors mean if I wanted to. And then this drop down, save to, and I have a choice of my library or your library, and then personal brand kit. If I select personal brand kit and click save, and then jump back over to Adobe Express and refresh my page, it's going to come up there as my color palette. So you can add multiple color palettes. Like for example, I have in here already, if I go to my libraries, I've got another color scheme in here. So if I click on this color scheme, because you might go through and decide, you're not sure which one you want to do, I'm going to go to edit this theme. And I could, if I don't really need to make a change, but just click save. And then right here in my drop down, I can do personal brand kit again and save. And when I jump back over to Adobe Express and refresh, that color scheme will also be there. And then of course, just like anything else in Adobe, you can always get rid of it. So I can delete a color scheme that I don't want. That color scheme still exists in my libraries over here. So it is not gone forever. It's just not attached to this brand anymore. So make your color scheme. Next, of course, we want to upload our logo. So we're going to go to upload logos. You should have this saved in your folder, just like I did. So there's my logo. My colors are there. Now my fonts. So fonts have meaning too. Sans serif has a different look than serif, and make sure you're choosing the appropriate ones. Now in Adobe Express, you can have a header font, a body font, and then just like just a regular font assigned to your brand, but not to a specific area. So like a header font would be used for like headlines and big things like that with like not very many words. And then body means it's for like a paragraph of text that you want someone to read. So kind of think about that legibility. You wouldn't want to have like a handwriting font as your body font because that's hard for people to read quickly. The legibility goes down. So kind of think about that as you're picking your fonts. So I'm going to pick this Josephine Sans regular. And when I click on it, it automatically came up as body. But let's say I wanted that to be a header. I would just click these three dots and then select header. And then I can add another font because I do want to have a header font. So, whoops, I'm going to click the wrong thing, and I'll do this Cooper Black as my, and that automatically came up as body, but I actually want this to be a header font. So there we go. So I've got my header font and my body font. And then of course I could add like another one and have it assigned just as like a font within my brand, but not assigned to like a header or the body. And then as you start creating things, you can create templates and assets, and you can add other things to this. So let's say now I've got my brand established. I want to create something. So I actually already have something I was kind of playing with. You guys are going to create stickers as your first piece of marketing. So this, of course, is not like your sticker will have your tagline, your logo, and then other elements that represent you, and be in your color scheme. So when I get in here, so notice how my logo is white instead of black. So to change that, we would go to Effect. You could click Custom, and then your color scheme actually comes up. So I could change it to a color within my color scheme, or I could do white, or I could do black, or I could do some other random color. But remember, you intentionally selected this color scheme. So really everything on this sticker that you're adding should be within that color scheme. All right, so there's my logo. And now when I add this brand, to get my brand in there, you're going to go over here to brands and apply brand. And then it will pop up into your layout. So as I'm clicking apply brand, these like arrows that are kind of like shuffle arrows you're probably familiar with from like Spotify and things like that, that actually is shuffling your colors. So as I do this, it's shuffling the colors around, and I can keep going. It's just doing combinations of colors from my color palette until I get one that I really like. And you also notice that it changed the typeface to my brand typefaces. So that is how you create a brand in Adobe Express and also apply it. And then, of course, don't forget to properly name your files before you download them. All right, I can't wait to see what you create. Have fun.